Okay, so before we start chopping, sawing and green stuffing, make sure to remove all mould lines. It's really easy to do this when disassembled. So starting with Grenade Man, to achieve his left arm carrying the las gun, I'm using the left arm from a grenade launcher. Given it straight, it works really well. So I remove the handle from his hand, ensuring I've got a smooth finish. I then remove the top of the las gun, which is probably representative of either a carry handle or telescopic sight. Next I then saw the arm at the shoulder guard, and then clean it up with my hobby blade. I glue it back together, making sure the hand is perpendicular to his legs with his knuckles facing out. Once it's dry in place, I then chop off a bit of the arm at the back near the armpit. Given the mould of the arm, there will be a sharp bit sticking out, which looks a bit out of place. I then glue the hand onto the las gun, and now I chop the right grenade arm and glue back in place with the grenade pointing back a bit more. It's only a minor point, but does make him unique nonetheless. Now some green stuff on the grenade arm. The key point here is to wet your fingers when applying, smash it into any crevices, and then use a blunt edge of a file or back of a paintbrush to remove any excess. Once that's dry, I can then glue them together, and thankfully the left arm is looking spot on. So moving on to the pointing man. Now his left arm is the one single left arm that doesn't have a hand attached to the las gun. I've used this particular hand numerous times on other Kitbash jobs, as it easily allows you to use other types of weapons. I actually chopped the hand off at the sleeve and rotate it so it's pointing upwards. His right arm is taken from a Baneblade kit with a commander, and the shoulder pad is simply from a Leman Russ kit, but with the skull removed. Once both arms are glued in place, I then glue the las gun onto his left hand as though he's grabbing it just below the barrel. And lastly, of course, I zoom in on Running Man. I actually forgot to record the work I did, but we'll talk you through it now. The two things I did for this chap is chop his right foot off and rotate it pointing forward, as opposed to pointing slightly to the right. This gives him the appearance of a running look. I also chopped his left arm and rotated it back behind him. My original idea was as if he was going to be actually going for his bayonet, and that's why I chopped off the bayonet on the las rifle. His right rifle arm is the one that goes with the left arm I spoke about before, being the only one without a hand stuck to it. So with his two colleagues back with him again, you hopefully agree they look good, being different to what you get in the sprue. Grenade Man and Running Man have had green stuff applied to where any chopping occurred, and as you can see it's impossible to tell, which is the aim of the game. I'm pretty happy with how Grenade Man's left arm turned out, carrying the las gun, and if you don't look too closely, it's very convincing that he's actually carrying the weapon. However, the join in his underarm ain't perfect, but oh wells. So hopefully interesting and inspiring you to saw, chop and green stuff some miniatures. If you've done any sweet kitbashing work, do let me know on Instagram, with my Insta handle being also Guardsman Hannon. If you want to support me, you can join my Patreon platoon, leave a YouTube super thanks, or simply by leaving a like, comment, or by subscribing. Even just watching this video really helps, as it means YouTube will show it to other people interested in this type of thing. Thanks for watching. Patreon platoon, sound off. Lieutenant Mitchell, Colour Sergeant DuPont, Sergeants Brady, O'Dowell, Gilliam, Merrill, Veterans Gibson, Hall, Lundeen, Witten, Guardsman Combs, Glenn, Hills, Nitton, Nguyen, Tom, Tompkin.